So it's November. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and you know what that means. That's right. Long and awkward conversations around the dinner table with your Uncle Joe or Aunt Susie asking, "So, what are your plans for after graduation?" But as a grad student, that question turns into, "What's your master's degree used for?" Or worse, what even is your master's degree? What's student affairs? Well, lucky for you, you came to the right TED Talk. My name is Sarah Widener, and I am in the Student Affairs and Higher Education program at Kutztown University. So let's start by defining what Student Affairs is. Student Affairs, according to ACPA, or the American College Personnel Association, stems from the advising and counseling positions on college campuses in the late 19th to early 20th centuries, and later included administrative and management functions in institutions of higher education. So essentially, any position in higher ed that is not faculty status, meaning not a professor. Growing up, my mother, who was a special education teacher in inner city Reading for 34 years, wanted me to become a teacher or work in education in some capacity. I, being the know it all daughter, flippantly retorted, "No way. I do not want to teach. I don't have the patience for that. I don't want to be in a room with 30 plus kids, 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. I wanted to go into publishing and editing." However, after working freelance for about a year in the field after graduating, I realized I missed the college experience and being surrounded by others in academia. I began to search for a way to combine my passion for working with students while avoiding teaching at all costs. This landed me in the lap of student affairs. But back to the basic questions, what is student affairs used for? Why do we need student affairs professionals on college campuses? Well, think of it this way. At one point in higher education, professors used to be in charge of the well-being of the student both inside and outside of the classroom. They played both roles as teacher and student supervisors. However, the increase in enrollment required more positions for student affairs professionals outside the classroom, as professors could not cover both roles. Student affairs professionals are those who can assist the holistic development of the entire student, which is one of the primary, if not the most central goal of student affairs administration. Arthur Sandeen, a former professor of educational leadership at the University of Florida and VP of Student Affairs there for 26 years, wrote an article that illustrates this point perfectly. He reflects on the importance of collaboration between student affairs and faculty administration. He says, since the best way to improve undergraduate education is to focus on the total student experience, paying close attention to students' mental and physical health is critical. Isolated or disconnected efforts to resolve students' difficulties can undercut students' potential for learning. Essentially, student affairs professionals can attend to problems or challenges that students might be facing in their personal lives in which professors often don't have the resources or the ability to address, thus accounting for the well-being of the whole student. So now I'll ask you to reflect on a time in your college career where you might have needed help with something or wanted to get advice. What would first come to mind? The initial transition from high school to college. This is one of the greatest areas in which student affairs professionals are needed. For example, Dr. Laurie Hazard, an academic affairs administrator and psychology professor at Bryant University, sought to address the lack of realistic student expectations from high school seniors transitioning to their first year at college. From her research, she concluded that in order for first-year students to be successful, they needed to develop the following skill sets: possess humility, ask for help, take risks, be willing to change, form healthy relationships, learn to manage time and behavior, respect diversity, practice healthy habits, and take responsibility. So what is the one common factor that all of these skill sets share? Student affairs professionals are involved in every single one of them. Some of the few more prominent skill sets that student affairs professionals would be involved with include things like asking for help or learning time management and diversity, things like that. So some of these skill sets help students' overall development, while other areas of student affairs involve seeking direct advice with a clear goal. One of these would be asking for help. Say you have trouble choosing what courses to take if you're planning on changing your major. That's part of academic advising, a major functional area of student affairs. Or out of the thousands of campus emails that students are spammed with on a daily basis, maybe one of them is an advertisement for a professional networking event in New York City or Washington, D.C. That's part of career services, which fosters forming healthy relationships and networking with other professionals in the field. In one of their promotional videos on YouTube, students at Pittsburgh University related how their school's career fair, organized by Career Services, helped them gain valuable networking skills and even landed some of them jobs. Another Pittsburgh student emphasized the importance of getting involved on campus organizations. He claims that getting involved is an investment in yourself. This student also described that through extracurriculars, you'll feel recognized for your contributions, meet other student leaders, and have more tools in your professional toolkit. Involvement on campus helps students connect and make relationships with not just professionals, but with other students as well. Taking that risk to join something new might just mean you found a new passion or a new friend group. Learning to manage time and behavior connects to tutoring services, and diversity is often the central goal for many campus multicultural centers. No matter how personable and helpful a professor is or how inclusive their course curriculum is, the fact is that they simply cannot create the same necessary experience in the classroom that student affairs professionals can outside of it. We have the power to introduce students to a myriad of programs and services that provide them with what professors can't, which is lived experience. Student affairs professionals are at the center of all of these many different facets that make up a functioning and thriving college campus. The unique aspect about student affairs that not many other careers have is the sense that we can essentially choose our own adventure. As Lindsay Aguilar, Residential Life Coordinator at Trinity University, describes perfectly, accessibility, counseling, student organizations, safety, spiritual life, facilities, career services, conduct, athletics, residence life, administration, involvement, diversity, and inclusion. These are just a few of the areas one could focus on within the student affairs world. They all have very distinct focuses, but they all need to collaborate in order for the college experience to work. This segues perfectly into another significant component of student affairs, which is we are not just working a job, we are fulfilling a personal mission. Celeste Headley, NPR host of the show On Second Thought, provides insightful advice on how to find a career we are truly passionate about, one that we love to go to and can wake up every morning and say, I can't wait to go to work. In her words, she encourages us to find our mission and forget about the job title. In her TEDx talk, she describes how her degree in music and career as an opera singer, of all things, led her to her current role in broadcast journalism. Now, I think we can agree that both of those fields are very different. However, her point is that by ignoring what the title of the job is, we can focus on finding our personal mission. For student affairs, that mission is supporting students' social, cultural, personal, and academic development throughout their time at college. If we're supposed to be educating the future leaders of today, we need to ensure that they are in an environment where they feel supported and experience positive growth in their personal lives, not just in the classroom. Student affairs professionals fill many, many roles, but for me, the most important roles include being a friend, a mentor, and an innovator for our students and campus communities. This is my personal mission within student affairs. Have you found yours? Thank you.